As a review exercise, I'd like you to create a navigation bar using the JavaScript rollovers techniques that we've recently learned how to use. And you'll need to go and provide your own images, go into Photoshop, create a consistent size and dimension for them, and then create an A and B for each image. So you can see here I've got a plain image and then a colorized rollover image with a number on it, as you see here. And I can quickly show you my Photoshop file as well. These also should link to external websites. Okay, so just go out and randomly pick some websites to link to these. So this is going to the Husky page, and this is going to my lessons page, and so on. Okay, as you see here. So I'm just going to test them all very quickly and just use the back button to get back. So create a single page, put this inside of a header, then create a background color for the header. So very minimal CSS, but you'll have to create an external style sheet with CSS and style the header background color, and also center the table. This is inside of a table, and just size it accordingly. And then below that, add a div tag, and inside of the div tag, just put a H1 tag with your first and last name and have it centered. Okay, so again, mouse over features using the JavaScript rollover swap image feature inside of Dreamweaver. So you will have to start in Photoshop, provide your own 5 images, size them up, then create an A and a B version by exporting them from Photoshop, as probably JPEGs, PNGs are fine as well. And why don't I just bounce over to Photoshop very quickly here and show you what that file looks like. Now I've got more than I need here, but basically here's your default image. I'll turn off these. This was my default image, and then I added a color over feature, and that color I happen to be using multiply as my blend mode. And then for text, I want you to include text as well. You can use words. I'm just using numbers here, and I associated the appropriate number as a text element. In this case, something in white that's easy to read against this background. So I would have had to have exported single image A to my images folder, and then create the mouse over feature, export once again image B. Okay, and if I bounce over to Dreamweaver really fast here, I can show you the file as well. Let me just go over to my files. Now I have a lot more going on in this particular root folder than we need here. It's just a single file. I'd like you to name it last name underscore lesson number, whatever it happens to be, and zip up your root file. So I do have a CSS here as well for this, and my images folder. Okay. Now if I just click up here, let me actually just go to my code view really fast here. So let's just kind of ignore the JavaScript that got created, but I have a table, and that table is inside of a header right here. And then I created a div tag just below the header, outside of the header, and simply added first and last name. I did a text align using my properties and close the div tag. All right, so you may need to do some of these inserts in the code view. Once you create the header, you can insert the header with the insert features over here or over here. And you can also do it manually if you choose to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so if I go back to split view here, again, here's a table. And if I go back over here, CSS designer, here is my external style sheet. And if I check on the body style tag selector here, I'll just go show set. It's I set margins to 0. That's what makes it tight to the edges. So set all your margins to 0 and a background color. And for the header, I simply put a background color. Okay, the table is centered as well, and then each of these images will require an ID, so make sure you give them an ID before you start. Then go over to your behaviors, which can be found up here. Where are we here? Behaviors, and I already have it open, and do the swap image feature for each. And then finally, inside of your properties, apply an external website link. Okay. Second section down here again is the div tag, which you can see here. Just put your first and last name, center it, give it an H1 tag, good to go. So we've got a background color for the whole page for the body tag. we've got a different background color for the header. And that's about it. Table inside of a header with 5 columns, 1 row, 0 pixels for the borders. If you want to put borders, feel free to do so. Okay. Once you're done that, zip up the whole root folder and hand that into Canvas. I'll run it one more time here really fast. There we go. JavaScript rollovers, simple little menu, and they all do link to an external web page. And that's your review exercise for today.